but a recent study came out and they confirmed it. Miami, amongst the other 50 states, is the worst state for singles.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I love that sound.
I'll be fine, just a drink in my wine.
Any of you motherfuckers that don't drink wine, fuck you start tonight.
It's time for coffee and Cabernet. The best way to start and end your day.
All right. Welcome back to Coffee and Cabernet, the best way to start and end your day. And my next guest and we go way back. I'm talking about balling on a budget, but I'm still going to pull up to the club because I know the DJ back. If you've partied in Miami, there's a good chance that he's probably provided the vibes at the spot you were at, but he doesn't limit himself to Miami now, does he?
Nah, man.
International DJ, on-air personality. What else you got? Producer, entrepreneur, ladies man.
A little bit of everything, man.
Oh man, give it up for DJ Kaos. Welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, so I love this because I was just asking you, hey, did I tell you what we were doing today? You're like, nah.
I trust you. Let's go.
All right, good. I'm glad you feel like that. So basically, let me break this down. We're gonna be doing a wine tasting today.
All right.
Throughout the wine tasting, we're gonna engage in conversation. I'm gonna ask you questions, maybe ask you to answer things about like the meaning of life, like the Pythagorean theorem, how you're gonna solve that. Easy stuff.
Got you.
Nah, I'm messing with you. But all the while, I'm gonna be dropping a little bit of wine gems and just kind of like the whole purpose of Coffee with Cabernet is to simplify some of the concepts that may otherwise come off a little pretentious or bougie, and it shouldn't have to be like that. On that subject, what would you rate your wine knowledge?
My wine knowledge is probably at a 1.5. Yeah. I'm not a wine drinker.
But you're gonna learn today, brother. You're gonna learn today. All right, let's jump into our first wine. We're looking at a 2021 Pinot Grigio by Sterling's Vintners Collection. It's a very balanced wine, Kaos. So with this, you're gonna get aromas of fresh pear, honeysuckle. You're gonna be the flavors are green apple, they're lemon. Essentially, it's basically like a freaking summer in a cup. Typical wine tasting fashion, and to get some of those aromas we talked about, you want to do a little swirl. There you go. Smell it, man. Cheers. That's fresh, bro. All right. International DJ.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, my friend. Tell us some of the places you've been to. Some of your favorite places.
Well, I've been going out to Medellin, Colombia, I would say for the last 15 years. I found, somebody found me on MySpace.
Okay.
And they had hit me up.
But you're Colombian too, right?
Colombian. My dad's Colombian. My mom's Puerto Rican.
Okay.
But, before that, I hadn't gone to Colombia since I was 15.
Nice.
So they had hit me up. And back then, I was still DJing with vinyl. So let me just show you how far back it goes.
Kind of showing your age there, my friend.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
So it's what it is to be an OG, bro.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Embrace it.
Yeah. And basically I went and I played hip hop in a Spanish club. And,
all right.
Yeah, and it was basically a mix. It was basically a mix of hip hop and reggaeton.
And this is circa 2005, 2006.
No, this is probably right around then. Yeah.
Well, you said 15 years ago, so damn, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So it was 15 years ago. It was more like 2008, 2009. A reason why I say that because you mentioned reggaeton and I know it was kind of there back then for us, at an early age, but it really came to life a little bit after 2006, after 2007, more or less, right?
Yeah.
Fair to say.
But I remember back in the early 2000s, when I used to go to Puerto Rico and it was always booming in Puerto Rico. That was one of the main things. You know, you had the mixtapes, the Playero, the DJ Nelsons, and but obviously it just never hit Miami. You know, it would always come, the music would always go from Puerto Rico to New York and then spread its way down. You know, it's not like today where they'll drop a song and then within the hour, everybody has a song.
Yeah.
You know, back then it takes about a year, 2 years for a song to actually hit.
those are pretty good
And
times.
because Colombia, they understand the language, they were able to adapt songs.
So would you say that you kind of like maybe not pioneered it, but you were introducing like a newer concept to their clubs that?
Yeah. Like I would say back in those days, like it was like when let's say like when Pitbull first came out.
Easy transition.
It was easy transition. You know, it was a little Spanglish, so they were able to understand it, and it was still like on that reggae dance hall tip, so they were able to dance it, even though they didn't understand the music, but they just like they understand the vibe.
How was that like introducing that? I mean, I just having conversations with you, I feel like you're pretty much cut from the cloth of it's better to beg for forgiveness than it is ask for permission. But
yeah,
while you knew it was going to be something for the crowd, like maybe the owners, like they might have been a little bit older. They were probably like, oh,
the owners only see one thing. They want to see the money.
Right.
You know, as long as the people are spending money, that's all they care about. And my job is to make the people dance. And then my job was basically to try to play hip hop music that is relevant to me for them to understand. Mm-hmm. And try to, like, since they don't speak the language, you know, you throw 1 and 2 and all right, you got to switch it over here to like a reggae. Go back to hip hop, put 2 reggaetons, play 2 hip hops, go back to reggae. Like try to switch it up like that.
Right.
So they can kind of understand what the vibe is I'm trying to make for them.
How was that for you, seeing like that kind of come about? Like, oh snap, I'm about to hit them with something they might not ever know nothing about.
I mean, it's amazing because, like, you know, you're building the vibe and you're showing people new music, which is basically what our job is, show
Right.
people new music, and you know, not so you don't listen to the same songs over and over and over and over again.
Striking a nerve with me, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Besides Medellin, like what are some of
I've
your
gone to Costa Rica, Dominican Republic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very, very tropical, very Caribbean kind of like vibes and stuff. Easy to implement that in those DJ sets of yours. I love that. However, Miami's home, bro.
Exactly.
Miami's home.
I've been to a lot of places and I've DJed a lot of places, but nothing is like Miami.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that, because I understand that from the concept of, well, shit, you look at the numbers and Miami's one of the top tourist destinations in the entire planet.
It's
But
just,
you have the experience.
To me, it's just that Miami's a melting pot. You know, you got to mix a little bit of everything. You know, you got everybody from every country, and it's just, you know, beautiful beaches, beautiful nightclubs, beautiful women, beautiful people everywhere, and it's just a melting pot for what we're doing right now. You know, I would say we're like one of the leading industry of the music. We're in the Mecca right now.
Miami has become such a like capital for like Latinx and things of that nature. Like, what do you like?
I think it's just easy because, you know, everybody comes here and it just spreads out.
What would you say contributes to how like you've gone about like with your own career, like seeing like how prolific like that standard or that genre of music has been? Like, how's that impacted you?
I mean, just as like a standpoint as a DJ, like coming from Miami and DJing in Miami compared to every other DJ from around the world, you know, our style is a little bit different. You know, ours is just straight dance, making people jump up and have a good time.
You know, we're talking about Miami and we're talking about Miami nightlife and stuff. You being a DJ, have you ever seen like any red flags? Like, I'm like, what are like red flags?
I'll tell you.
And I love that you just had a reaction, and I didn't even like get into detail. Like, oh, red flags were like dating or women. Like, no, just overall like red flags that you see.
I'll tell you one thing from being in a nightclub and not drinking, and then being in the club drinking.
Mm-hmm.
How people, once they drink, how they become a totally different person.
Mm.
And my pet peeve is when women take their shoes off in the middle of a club.
What's up with that?
Please, ladies.
Are they still alive and well?
Yeah.
I haven't been around for a while.
You see, from time to time, you may see it here and there.
I remember I got a text from you, like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. You're like, yo, where you been? You're lost. I'm like, I'm not going to those places right now. But whenever I do see videos about Sucias, like, it definitely seems like they're from out of town. Like, that's like a red flag. Oh, she's not from around here.
They're not used to wearing the stilettos and the nice shoes and being able to dance. A true woman can keep their shoes on all night long.
If you could name a Miami nightlife starter pack, what are we thinking?
Coffee and Red Bull.
Yo, you seen how crazy? Like, I know we're talking about like how prolific like the music industry is now here, but like you start looking at the service industry, the espresso martini.
Oh, amazing!
That's right.
It tastes great.
I saw somebody put it this way: it's the grown-ups version to Red Bull and vodka.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had my first one maybe a week ago.
For real?
First one a week ago.
Wow. Okay.
But with tequila.
And that's the thing. They're starting to explore that. Or like different things. You don't even know what you're putting in your cup anymore. Like it's traditionally a vodka cocktail.
Correct.
But I've seen it with rum. I haven't seen it with tequila. How's that?
I'm a tequila drinker, so I had to throw in the little tequila reposado.
Had you thrown that in the freaking questionnaire, bro, I would have maybe sprinkled something and gotten like a wine and tequila infused wine or some shit. I'm just throwing it out there. Hey, on the subject of wine, we're enjoying this one. Let's jump into our next one.
Yes, sir.
2020 Rosé from Hawks Crest. This is a boat. So we're just talking about like misconceptions, and I think that like this is a great segue. So this wine right here is actually a BOGO pickup. Basically, I was at Publix. I'm doing my shopping, and I saw, oh snap, Hawks Crest got a little buy one get one. Let me pick that up. And here's what I feel about this. With BOGOs, I feel like a lot of people might confuse the concept and think like, oh, this might not be the best quality stuff if they're buying them. It's a buy one get one. At least I think that. I might be speaking for myself. But when you look at the research, the facts behind BOGOs is a everybody wins kind of situation. It's a strategic move from food distributors and food brokers to benefit the overall food supply chain. And what they do is they have negotiations between vendors and the platform, in this case, the supermarket, to try to come across like which products make the most sense for everybody to win. Within that, there's an opportunity for us as consumers to come across like certain brands and certain products every now and then and like take advantage of the opportunity. This is one of those. So you're right there, what you just tasted, my friend, is a rosé. It's another refreshing wine, so it's hot. It was hot for me today. It's like walking around just prior to like getting to this podcast. It's freaking hot. It's Miami. It's always hot, but it's hotter during the summertime. Refreshing strawberries and cream. We're looking at watermelon. We're looking at peach. So continuing on with the tip. Oh, I like that. It's chilled. You want to definitely like chill this as much as you can. This should live chilled before you serve it.
Yes.
So we're talking about like not being like huge on our wine knowledge, and I feel like for me, coming into the transition of enjoying wines more and more, you walk into a place and you're kind of like, what am I even looking for? You like these brands, you're not familiar with them, like the layout of the store, like you're not really like, it could be daunting sometimes when you're walking in there, you're not sure what you want to get. And I feel like it comes down to like these three things. When you're shopping for wine, and for a second, let's take away the whole notions of a sommelier, which is a wine expert. They're gonna tell you don't freaking do it at a supermarket. Like, look, bro, like it comes down to this, because then there's,
So sommelier.
A sommelier. Sommelier. They say to leave the R. There's an R at the end there. Like, don't mention the R. Don't mention the R. But those wine experts would suggest you don't want to go shopping for wine at a supermarket, because those wines are usually mass produced, and there's certain chemicals that they put there for the shelf life, and they don't really take like seriously how to properly like store wine, etc., etc., etc. But I say, bro, like what you grew up eating, if it wasn't Lunchables and deli meat and all that stuff, and too much OJ and all that stuff is apparently bad for us, anyways. I mean, look, for me, if you're shopping for wine, you want to look at the following three things. Start with the occasion. What's the occasion? If the occasion is set and it's something of value, like an anniversary or a birthday, or you want to gift it to somebody, okay, then you might want to actually go out of your way. And I know you're a busy guy, Chaos, but you might want to actually go out of your way and go to like a maybe not a supermarket, but maybe like a liquor store or a wine shop, like somewhere nicer. Like what's my favorite? Toys R Us for alcoholics. What
Total Wine.
Total Wine. You know what I was talking about. You go to a Total Wine and you tell them, hey, like this is the occasion. Just that alone, like when you go and present that to whoever you're giving that to, they might consider that of value as much as the wine you're paying for, bro.
Right.
Just taking the time to go and do that for somebody, I think says something.
To me, it's always been like, what are you going to eat?
Yes.
And then this is what you compare it with.
And I'm getting to that. I'm 100% getting to that. With the subject of occasion, you arrive at budget. Let's be realistic. Okay, what's the budget? Sometimes there is no occasion. Then it doesn't really matter if you're gonna waste like 15 and 25 or maybe even 35 on a bottle of wine. If whatever your budget is, depending on the occasion, and yes, pairing. You don't want to pair like something light, like a salmon with quinoa, with a wine that might be best served with freaking barbecue meat. And these are the things that I think you should take into consideration. But above all, I think that for anybody that's like whatever stage you're at with wine, one of the things you want to just explore and try to arrive like at you know what, that one sat well with me. Which one is that one? Okay, next time I go, I'm gonna see what's up with the rosé. That seems like something like at the day party. At the day party, is it really gonna be like I'm thinking like, because you said reposado, like I'm thinking about like a warm, like a whiskey neat.
Yeah, or champagne. Yeah, party.
Right, but then you're barking up the right tree, because like champagne would be something like more refreshing, and that's what we're getting with this rosé. All right, what was I? Let's keep this conversation going. We're talking about Miami. You just talked about like there's no place like Miami. Unwritten rules of Miami. So there's a blog out there, I believe is written by Time Out Miami. Producer Leville, can you actually pass me that handout there, where some of those rules are they're written down?
You know, when you talk about Miami, but go ahead. I'll let you speak first.
No, go. You're the guest, bro.
Yeah, there's a saying from somebody from Miami. It says that if it happened in Miami, it never happened.
Wow. which is I think it's just as bad as like the Vegas one.
Cheers.
No, it didn't happen. What? It didn't happen. Scary. Red flag. All right. So whether you grew up here or whether you just arrived, because a lot of people from out of town, like they're making Miami their home. There's certain things that resonates with this place that are outside of like where you'll find it anywhere else. So this list, I was like, yo, like I'm gonna highlight some of these. Some of these are pretty spot on. Check this one out. Don't trust what you see. Miami's a real life Instagram filter.
Yeah.
Some lifestyles don't seem like what they are, aren't as rich, aren't as popular.
Agreed.
The whole when we were talking about starter packs for a second, I can't begin to tell you like I think the chain game has changed. It's been an interesting thing to see. I think we come from a time where like the chain, like you needed it to be authentic.
Yeah.
These days you see a freaking Cuban link,
Yeah,
the size of like somebody's forearm.
It's probably dipped in gold.
It was crazy. Some people are all right with that. The list goes on and on, bro. Like you're thinking about that. I like how it's put. Like it's a real life filter. How many times you seen somebody, and then you see them in person?
Probably 95% of the time.
All right.
I'm like, yo,
Let's keep it going before we name.
who's this?
Miami time is a real thing. Lean into it, or you're just gonna get annoyed.
Yeah.
I am like 100% guilty about that.
Yeah.
I'm so guilty about that I told him like, hey, come here at this time, and then hey, come here between this time frame, and then he showed up on the earlier side of it, and I was like, oh snap, you're actually here on time.
I like to be punctual.
That's great. But I have literally thrown like parties and get-togethers where I try to do punctual.
I know. Party, you got to tell them an hour and a half before the party you really want it to start.
And I'm getting head nods and like behind the camera and stuff like that. Like but
if you want people there by 8, you got to tell them 6.
You gotta.
I'll get here by 6.
And you just gotta like embrace it.
Yeah.
You gotta embrace it, because if not, like you're gonna get upset.
Yeah.
It's a thing, and it's crazy because you talk about punctuality a lot, and I don't know, man. Like I don't necessarily agree with it. Like people say like, yeah, like you're disrespectful, and I'm like, am I, or am I just Miami? Like I freaking went to a doctor's like appointment the other day, and I walk in there and you told me to be here at 2, but there's 5 people ahead of me.
Yeah.
Like,
Happens all the time.
why? Spanglish is the official language.
Correct.
You agree? Coladas must be shared.
Yes.
Coming back to the punctuality thing, they say that if you're gonna be late, bring a colada. And I'm like, that's 100% me. Like if we were supposed to be at a meeting at 12, I show up at 12:20. Hey guys, I brought a little something. Here you go. To diffuse the situation.
That's to say, I'm sorry. Being an a-hole.
Not to say saying I'm sorry is like, I feel like it's an interesting concept, because say I'm sorry, but to do it again means you're not really sorry. It's more like, what can I tell you, man? This is who I am. But look, you got something out of it. Never, this is a good one. Never, ever, under any circumstance, use your turning signal.
Man, I use
Bro,
my turn signal all the time.
You do?
Yeah.
You're that guy?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
It's something that I got from my dad, and it just, it's one of those things like, I'm turning into my dad, but yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Damn, I feel like now I'm like, this is freaking a little bit more on me now. I'm 50-50 with it.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 with it. But I appreciate you guys, because it's you guys that makes me a better person.
Yeah.
There's people out there that they literally, the rule here says don't do it under any circumstances is a sign of weakness. And what's crazy is that when I get upset sometimes when somebody, because like rules of the road, whatever, like you see somebody coming and you could probably turn and they're not with the turning signal, but they end up turning, and then it makes it so the cars behind them caught up, and then I have to sit there waiting. I get hot, bro. So then I'm that guy. I get hot at the fact that they didn't use the signal, knowing that sometimes like I'm the guy that doesn't use the signal. I don't know. I might be having a conversation. I don't know. Water and coffee in my hand. I don't freaking know. But in any case, it's kind of like I could do it, you can't do it kind of thing. Is funny to me. If you pay for mangoes,
who pays for mangoes?
You don't have a friend here in Miami, and I don't know if that's like. You get that in other tropical climates and stuff, but here 100%, like, do not, under any circumstances.
Everybody got a friend that has mangoes.
Everybody has a friend that has a mango tree, bro. Like, it's just a thing. If you're paying for them, you don't know nobody down here. You need to sort that out.
Yeah.
Go meet some people. Don't gossip about anybody, because you're probably talking to their boyfriends, cousins, co-workers, friends, somebody knows somebody, and everybody's connected.
I agree.
Tell me that's not
Yeah,
a freaking Miami thing here, bro. And I highlighted this one. I feel like it talks to some of our early beginnings. Christmas doesn't officially start until Power 96 plays Mi Burrito Sabanero. Christmas season.
100%.
100%. Cheers to that. Let's jump into our next wine. It's our Ghost Pines Cabernet. It's a very unique wine with this blend. I feel like we're moving up in the world a little bit. We transitioned from whites. We're now onto our reds. There's layers of blackberry, dark cherry, roasted vanilla with this one. There's even Asian spice somewhere thrown into this mix, making it for a very complex flavor. And what I like most about this is the length of the body on this one. You're gonna go ahead and swirl it like you are. You're good for somebody that says you're like, well, 1.5, bro. That swirling technique is spot on.
No, I said I didn't know about wine. I didn't say I didn't know about liquor.
Go ahead and take
Cheers.
Cheers. How we feeling?
Not too shabby.
Round, right? Treating you nice here. Treating you nice here. So, Ghost Pines is actually my current favorite. Something about it, like it's smooth.
Yeah, it is.
It's subtle, yet there's a lot of complexity in it. It's not like I feel like smooth sometimes, like tannins wise could.
And it's not dry either.
Exactly.
Which I can't stand. That's why my thing about wine is if it's too dry, it's like eesh.
Right. So and then like from a smoother wine, it might come off too fruity or too juicy or like not enough alcohol. And in any case with this one, you're kind of getting like a little bit of body with it. There's a length to it. And everything that I just said in terms of like the flavors and the notes and even the vanilla, I think is my personal favorite. It really hits home with this one. So I selected it. Don't get your head big, bro. It's my favorite because some of my favorite nights out in Miami has been with you, my friend. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm doing my thing. I've done my thing. So I say that because I can't tell you how many times, like, yo, where you at? Oh, I'm going to where you're going. Pull up with or without like a date, and it's one of those things where, oh, I know the DJ. Automatically a freaking good time. And shit, you're not too shabby on the turntables yourself.
Thank you, bro.
But what's up with DJs getting mad at the song request? Break it down. In the game, like decades now.
I'll tell you one thing that is super annoying is when somebody grabs their phone from across the room and is like this.
And that's like new.
Yo,
that's new shit right there.
Yo, it's like
that's new stuff right there.
Like, you really think we're gonna go a whole night without playing a Bad Bunny or a Sexy Red? Like, you really think? You know, I just don't like. Me personally, I don't like to play all the bangers in the beginning. You know, the night has to go like this. It's a flow. You know, and it's a vibe. You know, I gotta make sure people are drinking. When they're tired, slow down a little bit. Let them use the bathroom. Go get a drink. You know, my whole main job is to make sure people spend money at the bar or pop bottles. That's my goal. And to make sure that everybody's having a great time. It's my ultimate goal.
And I think when you think of DJs, like, you automatically equate it to it. Oh yeah, like he has to be good so it could be a good time. But it's breaking it down. Like,
it's a science behind having a whole night. You know, because at the end of the day, anybody could play music. I mean, we could listen to Spotify the whole night, but it's just playing the right songs at the right time that make the night good.
I got goosebumps. Now you're just taking me back with it. All right, so then that would mean that sometimes, like, it's people trying to jump the gun.
Yeah,
that's
or
what it is.
Being selfish. They want to listen to what they want and nobody else.
You say that. You said you mentioned like the Bad Bunnies and Sexy Reds on the phone on the forehead, and I went to the Bad Bunny concert, and I enjoyed it. I had fun, but I could definitely imagine the girl in front of me being the girl that pulls up to your like set, like, yo, play some Bad Bunny. Like that girl was crying at the show, bro. Crying. It's like a sense of passion. Selfish, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Chaos. A lot of years in the game. Craziest, funniest DJ story.
Well, there's so many.
I imagine. There may be that one like, yo, you remember that one time?
I mean, it all depends who I'm talking with, and like the things that I've seen, the things that I've done. You know, I've been blessed to do what I love to do and get paid for it.
Yeah.
You know, but I would say the craziest thing is half the people hanging out with me finding their significant others in the middle of a dance club.
Okay, by significant other, like you mean like they met and then later on,
Yeah,
like,
and they became married, ended up having kids, and life. There's life.
and you contributed to
And
that.
I contributed. That was me.
Invites to the wedding.
Invites to the wedding.
Now it's starting to make sense. Going back to Bad Bunny, was that lyric? You know which one I'm talking about? The one where he's like, "Oh, if the DJ was a pastor, we get married right here." All right, cool. All right, my guy, you like this? I'm sure you're gonna love the next one. Let's get into our last wine.
Yes, sir.
Bernardo Malbec. I like this because the details on the bottle are symphony of flavors. We're talking 66% Bernardo, which is the grape, and 34% Malbec. Malbec is notoriously known to be like a fruitier kind of wine, like a delightful kind of like experience with the wine. So I figured, okay, let's it's a red wine blend. I'm gonna send you home nice.
I'm gonna get your ear. Where's it from?
Argentina.
Argentina.
So it's the Argentinian, and what I like about that is, like, you know, I had this conversation with at my last wine tasting, and I was like, yo, like Malbecs from Argentina, like they really got it figured out, huh? And but the cool thing about wines and wine tasting is that it's everybody's perspective.
Yeah.
Malbecs come from different regions around the world, but every time I ever gravitate to an Argentinian wine, I can't explain it to you. It's usually a Malbec, and it's usually because they just do it right. So we're getting into that, and on top of that, with our last wine tip, what we did with this one is we put it through an aerator. So the aerator, it's called the Conundrum aerator. It has like 2 different like channels.
Feels good.
And the whole purpose behind that, I'm glad you like it. The whole purpose behind that is that it's supposed to oxygenate the wine. Is it pretentious? Yes and no. In my opinion. I mean, the whole purpose of oxygenating the wine is to give it like the best bang for your buck, an overall better experience. You're enhancing the aromas.
I've only seen that at one place.
Yeah.
Cooper's Hawk.
Yeah. There you go.
Only place I've ever seen it.
There you go. They know what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. The whole process is meant to just enhance the flavor overall. And with some wines, you kind of want to like go the distance and do that. Like, I'm not saying to do it with every wine, but every so often you come across like certain wines. Okay, let's take it through that process, and you're gonna get that with this.
It's good. It's tasty.
Okay. I feel like this might just be the one for you.
Yeah. We're not fancy, bro.
Alright, so we're having some conversations on and off the record here. Kaos. Recently, even though I feel like we've known this, you've been living in Miami, especially if you've been single in Miami at one point in time or another, you kind of know it. But a recent study came out and they confirmed it. Miami, amongst the other 50 states, is the worst state for singles.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Does that mean that there's a Mrs. Chaos?
Yeah, there is a Mrs. Chaos.
There you go. Once upon a time, I'm happy for you, bro. Once upon a time, before Mrs. Chaos, you perhaps too, at some point or another, as was I, as have I been, subjected to the dating scene here in Miami. The study suggests that there's certain things that were taken into account in the study. Mental health was one of them, which I thought was like, oh shit, that's pretty crazy. They said like some people don't están loco para la pinga. Let's be put it like that. And another one was debt.
Okay.
Which I think goes back to what we were talking about a second ago with like the Miami Instagram filter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it's a misconception of reality of life.
oh my God, bro! Don't get me started on that. But yes, like people.
You know, it's the Instagram life and the reality in the world that we live in.
So, what would you say? Like, what are some of the things that contribute to why it's so bad for us down here?
I think it's just there's a lot of options, a lot of things going on. This is like one of the only places that 24/7 there's something to do.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not a beach, it's a club that's 24 hours, or you know, you're going to after hours, or you're going to dinner party, or you're going to anything. There's anything. There's so many things to do. You know. Now you got like on a Wednesday, you got a hip hop club and a bowling alley. You know, you don't have that anywhere else.
Reasons why I asked you, like, yo, what do you say, Miami?
Yeah. You got pool parties.
The rest of the world.
You know.
Ah.
Where else on a full moon you can go hang out at the beach and go to a full moon party?
On a freaking Wednesday.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah. Sometimes you wonder, it's like, do people actually work?
I'm so tempted to say this. I'm gonna say it. I'm like the person who shout remain anonymous. We're talking Miami. We're talking about like, you know, like the reality of it versus like the Miami like filter, right?
Yeah.
And there's this person who was telling me like, yo, like life right now is expensive.
Super.
It's freaking expensive. It's effing expensive. And then within that, it was a conversation, yo, but I got this idea. I was like, okay, cool. You know about this. What can you tell me? I'm like, let's set up a time. I kid you not. I freaking kid you not. It's like, let's do it on Wednesday. Oh, I can't. Why? It's the full moon party. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. You're not serious about it. And it hits home on the subject you're talking about, like, yo, like it's always something to do, and there's so many options, and I think that is what like misconstrues people, is they feel like there's so many options out there, like, oh, okay, like, and then, but it gets so much deeper than that, in my opinion. Like, it starts with the so many options, and then depending on where you're at in that dating scene, it puts you in a position to, oh, okay, like maybe you're healing and now you will only accept like this, that, and the fifth.
Yeah. And
then within that, I feel like you're not even realizing like the wall that you're putting up in this healing process. And I can't even begin to tell you how many people like they leave with that. As a matter of fact, while I've never been on a freaking dating app, like I wouldn't, you need, yeah, I've never been. And there's nothing against people that are. I just feel like I wouldn't be surprised if some people's bios are like, I'm currently healing right now. The dating scene is ugly. I think I know people, and we're talking like that and things of that nature. Like, I know people that they get into relationships, and I think it should be no surprise. It's kind of like you're not looking for love. Like, you're looking for somebody to help you out, like financially. And it's I mean, and listen, I see it same ways with the girls and the guys. Like, that's the part that's crazy. That's the part that's crazy. It's like guys sometimes like seek a woman and, oh snap, this one's winning too. Okay, the same way that a girl would do it. So it doesn't just subject like women from men. I'm just
throwing it out there.
It's just crazy. Any advice for any other singles out there?
Yeah, man. Just keep looking. So you find the right one. Gut tells you it's it.
Or put up to my club set. You never know, you might meet her and then you invite me to the wedding, and then you probably spend the wedding.
Make sure it's off location, not in Miami.
Jeez. Hey, what?
Those are the best weddings.
What mala fama? Oh, like those are because you get to see like who's really your like about you, and who's really happy for you.
Exactly.
Oh, nah, I can't make it to DR. Why? You've been cruising around the world and you went over to freaking Greece.
Weddings are the
best. Chaos. Before we get out of here, my friend, upcoming projects, things to look forward to from you. What you got cooking?
Basically, I'm working in the music scene for quite a while now. Got some songs about to release soon. Also got some joint ventures. Got working on some nightclubs in Medellin, Colombia.
I saw that.
Yeah, there's a club it's been around since 2003. They closed down and they're revamping. It's called Deja Vu. It's going to be in Provenza. It's going to be one of the biggest nightclubs in the sector.
When you say it closed down over there or over here?
It closed down over there.
Okay.
Close down over there, and then got some heads together, and they're putting it back together, and it's gonna be a nice little project.
I love that. In terms of music and just overall, like where can people keep up with you? Where can people
follow me on my Instagram at DJ Kaos Music, and you can follow me on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere it is to be followed.
Thank you for watching Coffee and Cabernet
With Danny Doe.
Make sure you're subscribed and follow us at Coffee and Cabernet Podcast.